Hey everybody, this is Julie Quinn and welcome to week 2. You'll notice that there's a lot of little videos and readings and memos to take a look at this week. I think it's eminently manageable if you spread out the work across a couple of days, but let's just go over it, and then if you have questions, reach out and let me know. So last week you worked on writing assignment number 1, issue in your workplace or community. This week you're going to build upon that by highlighting a specific problem in your workplace that you want to research for the next 8 weeks. And so as you looked at week 1, especially in discussion 2, you talked about how those assignments were interrelated. You're going to be doing the same thing on your own. So this is a really important time to do the research, but to think about what those particular issues are, one that can be sustained through the next 7 weeks of research and writing. So you have a unified project by the time you get to the end of it. This week, we're also going to be talking about audiences. You're going to be writing for a dual audience, and we worked on that in English in Writing 112, didn't we? Where your professor's audience, but also classmates. But in this business writing class, professor is an audience member who is sort of taking on the position of a business peer or boss, depending on the situation. But you'll also be writing for a business environment, not so much your peers, but for your colleagues in the workplace. So those are the things that we'll be able to talk about. You'll be building resources for the synthesis literature review. And if you looked at the video that I had posted a couple of days ago, the difference between professional and academic sources, I hope that will really help you. In addition to looking at these short library tutorials, and by the way, you may have already seen these library tutorials in Writing 111 or Writing 112. They're how the one search function in the library databases, the subject function, and then some general background. So you can use them as resources. They're quick and basically pain-free. And so by the end of this week, we'll be talking about also academic integrity. You've seen it before in other classes. It's important to have that reminder. It's a nice little assignment that will orient us, especially when we work on quoting and paraphrasing, when we borrow content from other sources. You'll have a reading on the 6 basic qualities of effective business writing. And I have a video on Aristotle and logos, ethos, pathos, which are these terms that he talked about with effective public speaking, because, you know, back in ancient Greece, not everybody was literate, right? But logos is the concept of data and detail, the specific data and details to make an argument. Ethos is the credibility of the writer and the credibility that you will bring to the projects that you're doing in this class. Credibility is established by good research and by clear writing and by proper documentation. It's about putting your best foot forward and presenting an extremely professional text in a variety of ways. And pathos has to do with the sort of the emotionality of the work that you do. Think of pathos as seasoning in the writing to come. So when you use emotions, you want it to be limited, especially in a business context. So pathos will be used even less than logos and ethos will be considered in the work to come. I mean, if you're writing marketing copy and you're creating an advertisement for a business, you probably will use much more of it. So in business settings, pathos can be used, but in this project, I would use it in a limited way, like you would use cayenne seasoning. Okay. So when you go to the resources, these 3 videos are quite short. I know it seems like a lot of work, but note that, and the discussion that you've got, the first discussion is just about the videos. It's an opportunity for you to ask questions and answer questions to your peers. You've got the good writing and getting to know your audience. Those are just 1-page readings. So again, a lot of little pieces, but these are eminently doable. I strongly recommend that you annotate, that if you can copy these into a Word document and print them out, by all means, or take notes in a legal pad. Refer back to those notes when you're doing your discussions. That'd be great. And then you've got that shareholder memo from Jeff Bezos. You also have access to, and you've already seen this from week 1, so now you're referring to it again, the Writing Assignment 2 sample. And there's a video on the sample paper as well. So not only do you have direct access to that writing assignment, but you've got a video that overviews the assignment. I was going to create another one, but I don't know if I really need to because this video was already embedded in here. And then finally, you've got those discussions. The first one, again, is on the library tutorials, and the second one is on the 6 principles of good writing in light of Amazon strategy. So look at the good writing and Amazon strategy, and you'll see how these discussions cover most of those reading materials for the week. Finally, you'll capstone the week with a quiz on academic integrity. You'll note that the writing assignment number 2 is not due this week. If we take a look at the writing assignment, the synthesis of the literature, that's not due until actually the 7th. Let's see, is that the end of the week? Nope, that's like a week and a half. That's due at the end of week 3. So we're going to do a lot of the research this week because often it takes more than a week to do that actual research and to put it together. You know, I probably will just do a video going over assignment 2 that's due in 2 weeks anyways, but I'll post that a little bit later this week. I think that it's important that you have some of your research under your belt and that we use our time to maybe set up conferences tomorrow or Friday or even next Monday if you want to talk one-on-one about the research that you're finding and how it applies to your project ideas. I wish you luck this week. Let me know if you have any questions.